Move it, baby. Move it, body. Move it, body, body, move it, baby. Move it, body.
Heartbeat. I'm here to take this heartbeat and strengthen it and bring a bigger light so that the world can see it as much as I can, and to take that to whatever that next level is.
Well, as I told the Board of Trustees, we're getting an A+ candidate that you would normally have to scour nationally. And then she has the added thing of she knows this community and the community knows her.
I'm walking in the footsteps of a founder of an organization that is beloved, but I know that I gotta try it. And I know that we can do it.
Dear reader, you are loved, more than you know.
Keep smiling and shining and being who you are.
The world is lucky to have you.
Happy Pride to you. Celebrate like you should.
Life would be dull without you in it.
Keep shining bright.
sunshine face.
You are so loved. Do not let anyone ever tell you different.
St. Pete loves you.
We need you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being you.
You are beautiful just as you are, and you make our city more beautiful because you are a part of it.
You make the world more colorful.
You make the world brighter.
Never give up. You are loved for exactly
Who you are.
I promise. The world needs you in it.
Hi, I'm Aurelis, and I'm the owner of the Happy Snapper food truck, and we've been in business for a little over 3 months.
My name is Raphael. I am a full-time charter captain here out of O'Neill's Marina in St. Petersburg, Florida. I've been doing it probably for over 20 years. The role that I have in the food truck is pretty much I am the fryer. She pretty much puts everything together, makes it look nice and pretty going out.
I do everything else. I've always cooked. I mean, I've been cooking meals for my family since I was 12, and I'm not talking about like boxed macaroni and cheese. I mean, like full meals. And it's just something I've always liked to do. And my son actually played club soccer for Strictly. We went out of town and we decided to cook for the entire team and all the parents. And ever since then, after multiple teams showed up and ate, everyone was asking us when we were cooking again, and 7 years later, here we are. When I cook, I put my heart into it, so you're getting food that is happy and inviting and
it's fresh. You know, with a little Spanish twist to it, because we do have a couple of things on the menu that is definitely you know, from being from Puerto Rico, you know we're gonna have some plantains in there, you know, and we're gonna have some rice. Our main thing is fresh fish with a Spanish twist to it.
Apparently we're putting out food that there's not many other trucks doing, and we're getting customers asking, you know, when we're going to be back, where we're going to be set up. We're having breweries that are in St. Pete asking for us to come back to their location because their customers are asking about us. And I feel like St. Pete is a very good place for people that, I mean, they love supporting the local community, local businesses, and it's just a great place for anyone to thrive.
District 6 reaches from 22nd Street to the west, Bahama Shores to the south. It goes up to 9th Avenue North and east to Tampa Bay. I'm your council member for District 6, Gina Driscoll. I'm standing in front of one of the many murals you can find in this area. The Shine Mural Fest is a big part of this district. Another great event in District 6 is the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. This 3-day race takes place along our beautiful waterfront in downtown. Waterfront is a big part of this area with a number of waterfront parks, from Lassing to Vinoy Park by the historic Vinoy Hotel. History is rich here with the 22nd Street South District, more commonly known as the Deuces. You can see a mural representing this history at the I-275 underpass. And that's what I love about District 6. The arts are everywhere. You see it in our murals, our museums, the galleries and the theaters, but you'll also find the art of food, the art of beer, the art of going full force or taking it easy. District 6 is about the art of being who you are, the art of being St. Pete.
I look at Woodlawn as probably the most neighbor-friendly, kid-friendly neighborhood that I've ever lived in. It's a wonderful neighborhood to grow up in. I wish I was a kid growing up in this neighborhood.
It's a real family-oriented community, super close to downtown, and it's just kind of one of those picturesque, nice, quaint little neighborhoods.
I think what was really cool about the neighborhood is it's different compared to a lot of the other neighborhoods where part of it is on a circle. So as soon as we drove in on the neighborhood looking for a house, I just knew that this neighborhood had kind of some extra character to it.
Woodlawn has got a circular style to it, design to it, and you can see from some of these old pictures that there really is a circle or an oval to Woodlawn neighborhood.
My favorite part of the day is driving home. You turn onto our street from MLK, and there's beautiful oak trees, blooming crepe myrtles, and then there's a park. We have a park just at the end of our street. So here in Woodlawn, we have 3 public parks within our community.
We use those parks a lot for our garage sale in the fall. There's cookouts that go on in those neighborhood parks, and they become very handy.
And that's where we have all of the holiday events, all of our neighborhood events, potlucks, things like that. But then on the weekends, you could just kind of go out there and hang out. So I worked out in the park, take my dog to the park. There's a basketball hoop for the neighborhood kids to hang out. Got it!
As the fall and into the winter and into the holiday season, every one of those little pocket parks gets used for certain events.
Christmas caroling going on during Christmas. There's an Easter egg hunt through the neighborhood. Halloween is huge in this neighborhood.
And then Halloween, you forget about it. It is crazy around here.
Woodlawn likes to party.
So, like everything, trees come and go, and a lot of the trees in this neighborhood are laurel oaks, and they've got a time period of about 70 years in their lifespan. And we realized early on that the trees in this neighborhood were going to go away. What we did several years ago as part of a grant is got additional oak trees planted in several of those quadrant parks just to give a little shade so it's not as hot during the summer. And I would guarantee that 50 years from now, 100 years from now, the folks that are living here in these houses will be looking at those trees, wondering who planted them, and gosh darn it, they got to be getting old. Maybe we need to think about putting some new ones in.
There's so many generations of families here, old houses, new houses, young families, families that have been here for 20 years. But amidst all that, it's just a really cool community feel.
When we saw this house, as scary as it was, we knew it was the house just based on coming into the neighborhood and feeling so welcomed.
And the other interesting thing is about the folks that live in Woodlawn, the majority of them are very passionate about living here.
It's just a very outgoing and nice community.
So the one thing that I would like to lift up and make sure that everybody hears is that there's 2 Child's Parks. There's the Child's Park that you hear about and that you read about, but then there's my Child's Park. The parameters of Child's Park include 34th Street South to 49th Street, and then 18th Avenue to 5th Avenue South. And that's the Child's Park neighborhood, but the greater Child's Park area actually covers about 3 neighborhoods. It goes to about 1st Avenue to around 30th Avenue South.
I believe through the YMCA, the library, and the Rattlers organization, has become very instrumental in helping our youth and children become very productive adults.
The Rattler program is a GAP program that's designed to engage the community, to build family and community and crime prevention by keeping the kids engaged in youth activities.
I think the emphasis for developing youth in Child's Park arises from some statistics that we received, is that Child's Park had the highest concentration of youth in the city of St. Petersburg.
What we promote is family and community. So what we're trying to instill in them with the program is that we are one big family.
Because a lot of the initiatives and things are always focused, they're heavy focused on programming, or some type of, regimen or awareness piece or a pledge or something else. And we felt that it was important to just allow them to have a space to just come and have fun.
We're solely manned by volunteers, and we let them know that too. So we want them to come back and be volunteers, so the torch is just passed on, so we all learning from one another.
They're not just focused on the athletic aspect of it, but they also focus on youth development, so they have a tutoring program that they do.
And with the YMCA, you have the Rattlers and you have the other programs that's offered. When kids get out of school, they have a place to go. They have the library there.
The STREAM Club stands for Science, Technology, Reading, Engineering, Arts, and Math. We meet every Friday afternoon at the Childs Park Library. It's kind of an extra opportunity for them to get some exposure to topics they might not know about or might have heard in school and didn't quite stick. We just give them opportunities to have different kinds of experiences and hands-on experiences at that.
The youth have a place to go and children have a place to come daily. Matter of fact, that's a great thing to help kids get off the street and have a place to go, a safe haven you might call it.
One of my brothers, when we first organized this, he said, we're helping to create their back in the day. And I think that's important because, all of us have our back in the day, and I remember back in the day when we used to do that. So our responsibility as the adults now is to help create the back in the day experience for them. And what's happening today is Friday Night Done Right, an event that we created to create a safe space for children to come on Friday nights so they can be free to be kids. Sometimes you just want to remember when you went to the pool and they let you in for free, and that was it. And that's why I think it's important to help create those type of memories as well.
The Childs Park neighborhood, if anyone would ask about it, I would state that it was often misunderstood.
So I'll encourage people to come and see for themselves. More to Child Park that I've seen more positive in Child Park than I have seen negative.
And my Child's Park encompasses everything that we described today, and I hope that you will gravitate towards that and balance that once you hear the other stories and the other narratives that come out about the neighborhood.
My name is Michael Cotman, and this is Twin Brooks Golf Course. I oversee all of the facilities here that maintain the golf course and try to get it in pristine condition. It's a 9-hole golf course. We have a practice facility in the back, which is 3 practice holes. It's a really unique facility because it's in the middle of the city. It's really a benefit to the city because what we do here is we provide a place for play that's more reasonable than any of the other golf courses in the area. We have guys that come out here that are 80 years old. For them, this is an exercise. It's a chance to get out of the house and to do something. And for the kids, it's an opportunity to get off of the streets and to learn the game. My day begins around 5 o'clock. Make the assignments for everybody, make sure everybody's got the tools and protections that they need. So we set up the golf course, get that done, and then we'll do all of our other stuff. We'll mow fairways, we'll mow rough, we'll trim trees, we'll do hedges, and any other thing that pops up. So it becomes pretty daunting at times, but we manage to get it done. One bite at a time. So every day is a different adventure. When I got on this particular property, we didn't have fairways, we didn't have moguls, we didn't have mounds. Now we have a primary place to play where it looks like an 18-hole manicured golf course, even though it's 9 holes. There's a satisfaction that you get when the transformation process, to see it go from what it was to your vision, is so fulfilling.
I think a trailblazer is a person who looks at the needs of now without high regard for the status quo or the way we've always done things, but focuses their work on how you make our community better today and for generations to come. None of us stand on our own, and so in order for me to be elected mayor, there were so many folks in generations before me that had to fight even for the right to vote, or even for the right to be a full-fledged police officer like Leon Jackson. I just looked at myself as the next in a line of folks who are working to move our community forward. Without the Leon Jacksons of the world, I certainly wouldn't be in this position. And without guys like Bob Stewart, former city council member and county commissioner, who's one of my mentors, who served with both me and my father, you know, without those folks also pushing, we wouldn't be where we are today. You know, I attended the last segregated class at Melrose as a kindergarten student, that I'm able to go back to that and talk to those students as the 54th mayor of our city. That's a lot for one lifetime. As I go around the classroom, I do this for Great American Teach-In, and ask the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the last time I went, there were 3 kids that said, you know, I want to be mayor, and 1 young lady who said she wanted to be president. That's what it's all about. It's just making sure kids understand you really can achieve. Progress doesn't happen without someone who challenges the status quo, the powers that be, and speaks up for folks who are largely silenced. There is such a thing as a silent majority, folks who are too busy putting food on the table, taking care of their kids or their parents, to be involved in the political arena. And so the folks that do that represent a lot of folks who can't be engaged. Find someone, reach out to someone that you admire who's made it, and reach out to them. Email, Facebook. I guarantee a lot of folks will actually respond to that. I certainly will if someone's interested in elective office. Reach out, make that first step. Never be bound by the status quo or someone else's opinion of what you can or cannot do.
My name is Adrian. I've been with the City of St. Pete for about 3 years. My job title is environmental tech. That means strictly rodent control and basically keeping the rodents out of the structure or the home. Basically, the service that we provide is a free service to the residents. Kind of go through an interview process with the customer, what they've been dealing with, how long, how often.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The City of St. Pete. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
And then from there, an exterior inspection takes place. And then from there, it's pretty much education, which is key. The more the customer knows, the better we're going to be able to assist.
But the flaps sealed right now, so that's excellent.
The most common problems are going to be entry points. When we get those cold snaps, rodents are just like us. They want to be inside, they want to be warm. So the first place they're going to look for is set up inside the home. So we want to go ahead and get those places sealed off, which is pretty much the most important part of pest control. Sanitation definitely is key. Not giving them a food source to keep revisiting. My job is important because of the fact that rodents do carry a few different types of diseases. They can basically make you sick. As a last resort, we do provide bait boxes to the customer to kind of try to help control the population. I've been in the business for over 20 years now. I think it's a sense of enjoyment being able to help others that may not know exactly what to do. in the field of pest control. So it's kind of a privilege and an honor to be able to help that customer and be able to walk away knowing that that customer's been satisfied with the service that's provided.
So the one thing that I would like to lift up and make sure that everybody hears is that there's two Child's Parks. There's the Child's Park that you hear about and that you read about, but then there's my Child's Park. The parameters of Child's Park include 34th Street South to 49th Street, and then 18th Avenue to 5th Avenue South. And that's the Child's Park neighborhood, but the greater Child's Park area actually covers about 3 neighborhoods. It goes to about 1st Avenue to around 30th Avenue South.
I believe through the YMCA, the library, and the Rattlers organization has become very instrumental in helping our youth and children become very productive adults.
The Rattler program into a GAP program that's designed to engage the community, to build family and community and crime prevention by keeping the kids engaged in youth activities.
I think the emphasis for developing youth in Child's Park arises from some statistics that we received, is that Child's Park had the highest concentration of youth in the city of St. Petersburg.
What we promote is family and community. So what we're trying to instill in them with the program is that we are one big family.
Because a lot of the initiatives and things are always focused, they're heavy focused on programming, or some type of, regimen or awareness piece or a pledge or something else. And we felt that it was important to just allow them to have a space to just come and have fun.
We're solely manned by volunteers, and we let them know that too. So we want them to come back and be volunteers, so the torch is just passed on, so we all learning from one another.
They're not just focused on the athletic aspect of it, but they also focus on youth development. So they have a tutoring program that they do.
And with the YMCA, you have the Rattlers and you have the other programs that's offered. When kids get out of school, they have a place to go. They have the library there.
The STREAM Club stands for Science, Technology, Reading, Engineering, Arts, and Math. We meet every Friday afternoon at the Child's Park Library. It's kind of an extra opportunity for them to get some exposure to topics they might not know about or might have heard in school and didn't quite stick. We just give them opportunities to have different kinds of experiences and hands-on experiences at that.
The youth have a place to go and children have a place to come daily. Matter of fact, that's a great thing to help kids get off the street, have a place to go, a safe haven you might call it.
One of my brothers, when we first organized this, he said, we're helping to create their back in the day. And I think that's important because, all of us have our back in the day, and I remember back in the day when we used to do that. So our responsibility as the adults now is to help create the back in the day experience for them. And what's happening today is Friday Night Done Right, an event that we created to create a safe space for children to come on Friday nights so they can be free to be kids. Sometimes you just want to remember when you went to the pool and they let you in for free, and that was it. And that's why I think it's important to help create those type of memories as well.
The Child's Park neighborhood, if anyone would ask about it, I would state that it was often misunderstood.
So I always encourage people to come and see for themselves. There's more to Child Park that I've seen more positive in Child Park than I have seen negative.
And my Child's Park encompasses everything that we described today, and I hope that you will gravitate towards that and balance that once you hear the other stories and the other narratives that come out about the neighborhood.
Camp Ignite is a 1 to 3 day program geared to help girls build their self-confidence and for St. Petersburg Fire Rescue to show them what we have to offer. It's going to be action-packed. They're going to get their hands dirty. They're going to be a little tired at the end of it. But when it's all said and done, they're going to hold their head a little higher. They're going to leave a little more confidence to go out there and get after whatever it is that's their calling.
They'll get CPR certified by me. So I have the joy in teaching them that. It's a lifetime skill. They'll still have the CPR certification and the knowledge of it to take with them for the rest of their lives.
We want to ignite. We want to empower them. We want to be proactive in reaching out to them at an early age to expose them to the possibility of being a first responder.
Exposure's huge. I didn't get into the fire service until after I started my military career. I'm embarrassed to say I really didn't know much about it. And I got into it because we had to do onboard firefighting on our ships, and that kind of led me down that path. I didn't have a program like this.
It's important for us to have female mentors to help girls be able to see what they can possibly be one day.
If you can see it, you can be it, right? So that just inspires them, like, hey, if she can do that, so can I.
This is our way of being proactive and ensuring that we have a very diverse workforce that reflects the community we serve.
We have a big mix here. We got more people coming. I think it's just important for us to look like who we work for.
We're being firefighters today. We basically train to be a firefighter. We learn how to do things that the firefighters do.
I really like the hose because I learned how to put out a powerful water supply out of a fire hydrant.
The coolest thing I've done out here is putting out fire. The coolest thing I've done is probably walk down a tower. It's like having a ton of adrenaline go through your whole body, and then it's like you're scared, but like you know you're safe.
I think it's a cool idea, and I like how they put this together for girls to learn about firefighters and show that you can be anything you want.
I feel like it's great for me because I want to become a firefighter when I grow up, and becoming a firefighter, you get to help people, and usually when you call in, it's usually the worst day of their life, so you're there to make that better.
I think they're pretty cool. I think I would want to be a firefighter. It seems fun.
I never really thought about doing it before, but doing this actually kind of changed my mind a little bit.
Well, Spark! Together we ignite. Together we ignite. Together we ignite.
Together we ignite.
Together we ignite.
Together we ignite.
Together we ignite! Woo!
The new Minority and Women Business Enterprise Program, referred to as the MWBE program, aims to promote business and economic development for minority-owned business enterprises and women-owned business enterprises in the St. Pete area. Equity and business opportunities are key priorities in Mayor Ken Welch and his team's agenda, and one of his 5 pillars for progress. The MWBE will be administered by the City of St. Petersburg's Office of Supplier Diversity, created to promote fair and equal business opportunities, ensuring equity in contracts and procurement for all members of our community who want to do business with the City of St. Petersburg. The city awards millions of dollars in contracts each year for services, supplies, and construction, which results in the creation of a wide variety of opportunities. The new MWBE program will create participation percentage requirements, providing more opportunities for St. Pete's diverse business community. For more information on qualifications, eligibility, and how to apply, visit stpete.org/MWBE.
My name is William Clifton. I work at the tire shop for the City of St. Petersburg. I'm a tire and wheel specialist. My general responsibilities are to make sure everything rolls. We just make sure everybody's rolling safe. We deal with garbage trucks, fire department, wheelbarrows, forklifts. We pretty much deal with anything that has a tire. Some days it's 10, 20, and some days we're just non-stop. I know there's over 100 sanitation trucks. I think there's roughly 300 police vehicles, upwards of 1,000 or better. We have the big loaders. I think that's probably the heaviest, the biggest tire. Smallest, I've worked on probably forklift tires, the rear tires on a forklift, or wheelbarrow tires. I love the work. The work is fun. I mean, I like working with my hands. I feel like the tire shop is an integral part in the city because without us, nothing rolls. No fire truck, no police department, no water department, no tractors, no backhoes. All that comes to us. Well, right before Hurricane Irma came here last year, we were the last group of people out of the compound, and we were the first people in the compound back to work. We got somebody that needs tires right away. You can have all the running vehicles you want, but without tires, they're going nowhere.
This is our first City Hall on tour for 2024. We're here at Pinellas Technical College, and it's an opportunity for the community to talk to any of our departments, from sanitation to codes to law enforcement, police, or fire, about our community, about their recommendations, their concerns, and get feedback on the spot.
Community folks who are where you're at. The City Hall on Tour is designed to put you in spaces where people live in real time.
It's also a focus on education and career paths, and that's why we're here at Pinellas Technical College. They're a great partner with us. You heard about the Mayor's Future Ready Academy, where we have 12 young people who are going through on-the-job training in various city departments like sanitation and public works.
For our Future Ready Academy, we really consist of like going through each department through the city and then learning new experiences through each department and what's each department consists of. So you kind of get a win-win in each opportunity. So it's kind of a lot through each department. You get to learn a lot.
We look at the city of St. Petersburg, from the historic gas plant to all of the housing developments that are going on, corridor development. Most of those are driven by the trades. Plumbers, electricians, craftsmen of all kinds.
It's also a focus this year on careers and getting folks connected to career paths. We try to have these around the city. We had 4 last year. This year we'll have 3 and another one dedicated to youth. That's how we all move forward together.
My art style is mixing a little bit of traditional painting methods with like a little urban art flair and bright colors. I think it's a way of expressing yourself to the community, and especially through public art like this, putting a little color into the community. It helps tell a story of the community. It helps have a sense of pride in the area. A lot of us live in the area, so you're contributing to the growth and belonging of your own backyard. We all share things in common, and I try to show that in a fun, colorful way, you know, kind of through a lot of my artwork. My name is Francisco Gonzalez. I go by Frankie G.
The culture of St. Pete, when I arrived in '97, I like saying it was nascent. It was percolating under the ground, but there were no coffee shops. There wasn't the Globe coffee shop that Joylyn Schilke created. There was no place for people to hang to say, I've experienced this, now let me talk about it over a cup of joe. And, but it was nascent, and I also think there were a lot of creative people in St. Petersburg who were kind of doing their own thing, and we just, some say a catalyst, but I think it's kind of a centrifuge where this goes in, 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 and then you go, and so I think we primarily just put a mirror up to the community and say, where y'all at? And that's how we came to be. I know we initially talked about it as being a theater, but that was the least of what we were going to do insofar as we knew that we wanted a place for the community to come together without hurt, harm, or danger, and, you know, speak on or about or for all sorts of things. And we had to find out what those things were, so.
Well, I can say that when I got here in '08, because a lot of people don't know, that my first performance in St. Pete was here. This was the place to be. Everybody was talking about the studio. They wanted to work at the studio. They wanted to be at the studio. The community is the reason why it succeeds, and we get to feed the community. So it's a cycle, right? It's synergetic. It's and everybody needs to feel like they have a home.
District 6 reaches from 22nd Street to the west, Bahama Shores to the south. It goes up to 9th Avenue North and east to Tampa Bay. I'm your council member for District 6, Gina Driscoll. I'm standing in front of one of the many murals you can find in this area. The Shine Mural Fest is a big part of this district. Another great event in District 6 is the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. This 3-day race takes place along our beautiful waterfront in downtown. Waterfront is a big part of this area with a number of waterfront parks, from Lansing to Vinoy Park by the historic Vinoy Hotel. History is rich here with the 22nd Street South District, more commonly known as the Deuces. You can see a mural representing this history at the I-275 underpass. And that's what I love about District 6. The arts are everywhere. You see it in our murals, our museums, the galleries and the theaters, but you'll also find the art of food, the art of beer, the art of going full force or taking it easy. District 6 is about the art of being who you are, the art of being St. Pete.
So if you live in St. Petersburg, right, most people know that the world's first commercial airline flight was here.
True.
Right, from St. Petersburg to Tampa. But what a lot of people don't know, could have been disastrous for the whole idea of the whole airline business, the chain came off the sprocket. The engine was basically powering a propeller like a bicycle chain and a bicycle sprocket that turned the propeller. And halfway across the bay, the chain came off. And he had to land the airboat in the middle of Tampa Bay and repair it. Remember when you were a kid and your chain would come off and you have to put it back on, your hands would get all greasy and dirty? Well, him and AC File both had to do that, and they both got their hands all filthy and stuff, but they put it back in the air and they made it. That could have been game-changing for the whole airline industry if the flight didn't work.
If they'd had to come rescue these guys out in the middle of Tampa Bay after all this publicity.
That's exactly right.
My goodness.
So the one thing that I would like to lift up and make sure that everybody hears is that there's two Child's Parks. There's the Child's Park that you hear about and that you read about, but then there's my Child's Park. The parameters of Child's Park include 34th Street South to 49th Street, and then 18th Avenue to 5th Avenue South. And that's the Child's Park neighborhood, but the greater Child's Park area actually covers about 3 neighborhoods. It goes to about 1st Avenue to around 30th Avenue South.
I believe through the YMCA, the library, and the Rattlers organization has become very instrumental in helping our youth and children become very productive adults.
The Rattler program into a GAP program that's designed to engage the community, to build family and community and crime prevention by keeping the kids engaged in youth activities.
I think the emphasis for developing youth in Child's Park arises from some statistics that we received, is that Child's Park had the highest concentration of youth in the city of St. Petersburg.
What we promote is family and community. So what we're trying to instill in them with the program is that we are one big family.
Because a lot of the initiatives and things are always focused, they're heavy focused on programming, or some type of, regimen or awareness piece or a pledge or something else. And we felt that it was important to just allow them to have a space to just come and have fun.
We're solely manned by volunteers. And we let them know that too, so we want them to come back and be volunteers so the torch is just passed on, so we all learning from one another.
They're not just focused on the athletic aspect of it, but they also focus on youth development, so they have a tutoring program that they do.
And with the YMCA, you have the Rattlers and you have the other programs that's offered. When kids get out of school, they have a place to go. They have the library there.
The STREAM Club stands for Science, Technology, Reading, Engineering, Arts, and Math. We meet every Friday afternoon at the Childs Park Library. It's kind of an extra opportunity for them to get some exposure to topics they might not know about or might have heard in school and didn't quite stick. We just give them opportunities to have different kinds of experiences and hands-on experiences at that.
The youth have a place to go and children have a place to come daily. Matter of fact, that's a great thing to help kids get off the street, have a place to go, a safe haven you might call it.
One of my brothers, when we first organized this, he said, we're helping to create their back in the day. And I think that's important because, you know, all of us have our back in the day, and I remember back in the day when we used to do that. So our responsibility as the adults now is to help create the back in the day experience for them. And what's happening today is Friday Night Done Right, an event that we created to create a safe space for children to come on Friday nights so they can be free to be kids. Sometimes you just want to remember when you went to the pool and they let you in for free, you know, and that was it. And that's why I think it's important to help create those type of memories as well.
The Childs Park neighborhood, if anyone would ask about it, I would state that it was often misunderstood.
So I'll encourage people to come and see for themselves. There's more to Child Park that I've seen more positive in Child Park than I have seen negative.
And my Child's Park encompasses everything that we described today, and I hope that you will gravitate towards that and balance that once you hear the other stories and the other narratives that come out about the neighborhood.
Hay un alfiler en una orilla de una ciudad en un mapa, como una esmeralda en la oscuridad o un ojo de pelícano. Oh península de sol, mar y baños. Aquí somos tan diversos como las conchas, la flora y las muchas aves que nos visitan cada invierno. Sí, somos bami, empanadas, caniches, injera, roti. Somos reggaetón, rap, cumbia, trap, jazz, rock y folk. Caminemos por el St. Pete Youth Farm para encontrar todo tipo de raíces entrelazados, alimentándose de la misma tierra. Aquí hacemos espacio para todos. Mira las historias pintadas en las paredes, calles y intersecciones. Neón, prismáticas y sin miedo de hacer ruido porque el arte brilla aquí, donde pintamos el arco iris por la ciudad con orgullo y decimos gay. Donde las vidas negras importan y donde una hija de inmigrantes puede ser su poeta laureada.
Thank you.
Hay un alfiler en una orilla, en una ciudad, en un mapa. Acércate. Respira el aire salado. Mi gente, miren a su alrededor. Somos St. Pete. We are St. Pete.
What do you know about the Coliseum? That was a boom time development, wasn't it?
It was pretty much the place where people went.
Sure.
For entertainment. I mean, you hear some of the stories of the bands that played there, and it was amazing.
Most of the big white swing bands, I think, played there. And because it was in the segregation area, the counterpart in the black community was on 22nd Street South with the Manhattan Casino.
Right.
And of course, they had all the big name bands come there and play as well.
The Coliseum in the 20s and 30s was kind of like the Amalie Arena of today, where everybody who was anybody musically performed there. But didn't some of the acts perform at the Coliseum and then that same night leave and go play at the
Absolutely,
Manhattan?
they sure did. And sometimes they would gather for impromptu jam sessions in people's houses, I'm told.
That's very cool.
Yes, it is.
Mi nombre es Lisette Hanowitz y yo soy parte del Consejo Municipal de la Ciudad de St. Petersburg. To me, a trailblazer is someone who sees opportunities that others can't see. Sometimes they see a world that doesn't exist. And I think people that are trailblazers has this burning desire inside to do something. And that doesn't end when they blaze that first trail. I see more and more people coming from different places and calling St. Pete home. And I think our city council is reflective of that. It's shocking, but we're still in an era where there is first. What really became clear to me what my trailblazers were as I got older is my mom and my family. You don't appreciate the struggles they go through until you're older in life, and then you can see how difficult it was for them. And my family came from Cuba in the 60s through the freedom flights, and they left the country to go to another country where they didn't speak the language, completely different culture, and brought nothing with them and started anew. And if that's not a definition of a trailblazer, I don't know what is. My mom passed away last year. And when I won the primary, my mom was alive, and I was able to share that with her. And I wish I would have been able to share it with her that I won. The fact that my family left Cuba for freedom, and here I am being an elected representative. My family left a place where there are no elections, and I was elected to represent our city. That made me very proud, and I wish my mom would have been able to see it. It made me so proud that my daughter saw me be elected. She was so excited, and all the other little girls, her friends. And in me, they saw themselves. And I think that's important because there were times when I was a child, I didn't see elected representatives that looked like me. We all bring our life experiences that are so different from each other. And the more diversity you have, the more life experiences you have, and you're not in an echo chamber. You're able to make better decisions if you do have diverse points of view. I think people think it's better when everyone agrees with them, but the only places I know where everyone agrees are places like Cuba and not free societies. In a free society, you should have discourse. And with discourse, diversity is important. I think everyone needs an example or someone to look up to. I think our kids need an example of what can happen in their future. And I think we have a diverse community, and that diversity should be expressed in every institution in our country. So once we do that, I think we're going to see more and more people participate. It's never too late. I had to drop out of school when I was 16 to help my mom work and pay the rent. And I went to school at night while I got my bachelor's and my MBA, and I went to law school at the age of 30. My path wasn't the normal path. And I think sometimes people think that it's too late for me. I can't get that degree. I can't learn that skill. And it isn't too late. I think if you want to do something, you should do it no matter what age.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Just brushing up on some of my favorite literary classics. Even if a page turner like this isn't up your alley, did you know our libraries offer so much more than classic books? There's also things like passes to local museums. You can download ebooks onto your Kindle device. And super cool things like a teen gaming program. Visit your local library and see all it has to offer.
So, Bobby, how has St. Pete's history influenced you as a creative, as an artist?
Well, two things. When we still lived in the one-bedroom apartment, my mother was going off to work. She worked as a domestic. She was taking the bus, and she was leaving out the door, and then she turned around and she said, "You know, Bobby," she called me Bobby. She said, and she put her hand on my face and said, "We must stay in our place." And I didn't even think I understood what she meant. I've later come to understand, she said, he's an inquisitive, investigative child, and he might get into situations he is not equipped to handle. Mm. Growing up in Southern California, it wasn't as quite precious as it was in the South, but my parents are both from the South, and all of my plays, virtually 90% of them, are set in the South, even before I ever set foot in the Southern United States. And I think history informs your granddaddy, your grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, and it informs your parents. And even if they are not from the South. So one of the things that having a creative life, Live Arts Peninsula Foundation, who presented Web City, I was doing Uncle Ben's, a home cooking Negro narrative at American Stage, and they came up to me after one of the performances and said, "We'd like you to write a musical about the Manhattan Casino." In writing that, Bill Levengood and myself interviewed dozens of people, and I learned a lot about the city by interviewing people. Was started by Elder Jordan, and there are many stories in the Naked City, and these are 5 dozen of them. And it just started me and dovetailed with me already being interested in history and finding out the particular history of this community.
The waterfront view is my favorite part about living right here in St. Pete.
Sounds of the water, the sounds of different species of birds. I find it very soothing and relaxing.
Everybody ride good? How you feel?
Yeah,
I feel good. It's like a perfect day for it.
See the pelican? Yeah, he's fishing for some fish too. Say yay, fishing!
Dear reader, you are loved more than you know.
Keep smiling and shining and being who you are.
The world is lucky to have you.
Happy Pride to you. Celebrate like you should.
Life would be dull without you in it. Keep shining bright.
Sunshine face.
You are so loved. Do not let anyone ever tell you different.
St. Pete loves you.
We need you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being you.
You are beautiful just as you are, and you make our city more beautiful because you are a part of it.
You make the world more colorful.
You make the world brighter.
Never give up.
You are loved for exactly
who you are. I promise. The world needs you in it.
District 1 is located west of 49th Street North, from 7th Avenue South to 40th Avenue North. It's where the city meets Bogosiega Bay. I'm Councilmember Copley Gertis, your representative for District 1. Standing here by the baseball fields at Northwest Park has a special meaning to me. This is the park where I spent my childhood racing in the pool, playing youth baseball growing up, and where countless residents have enjoyed all kinds of outdoor activities. Northwest Park is also the home to the J.W. Cate Rec Center. District 1 is filled with an abundance of beautiful large parks. Residents can enjoy a run around Walter Fuller Park, the boardwalk's water views from Abercrombie Park, or a round of frisbee golf at Azalea Park. Swimming pools, dog parks, walking trails, outdoor gym facilities, and more serve whatever you seek this side of town. I love that the neighborhoods surrounding the parks, such as Jungle Prada and Jungle Terrace, inherit the lush landscape and wildlife we love within the park system. As if these parks aren't enough to keep you in touch with nature, some of the best beaches in the world are a quick drive or a bike ride away. The proximity between the Gulf beaches and downtown St. Pete make this part of St. Pete one of a kind. This side of St. Petersburg has become a mecca for local shops and restaurants like Alessia, Two Graces, the Wheelhouse, and the Nosh Pit. With long-standing institutions like St. Pete College, St. Pete Catholic High School, and Admiral Farragut all help support the diverse culture throughout District 1. There's no denying the vibrant display of energy, nature, neighborhoods, and great local businesses when you spend a little time in District 1.
Hey, that's my house, and this is my ASMR video about water conservation. I use water wisely. Ever have a drippy sink? You should fix it to not waste water, and also not to go crazy with that dripping noise. Look there, that's my automatic shut-off hose attachment. Super water conservative. Even when nature calls, I call nature and I say, "Hi, I'm conserving water with my high-efficiency tank." Okay, bye. Oh, hey, that's me. Just using my high-efficiency washer. Just listen to the sounds of water being conserved. Go to this website to learn more, St. Pete, and do what you can for water conservation.
District 4 is centrally located in St. Petersburg, from Coffee Pot and North Shore to the east and I-275 to the west. It reaches as far north as 77th Avenue North and as far south as 5th Avenue North. I'm Councilmember Lisette Hanowitz, your representative for District 4. I love where I'm standing right now, where baseball legends played. Huggins Stengel Field hosted the New York Yankees spring training sessions with players like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Joe DiMaggio, all the way back in 1925. This baseball field is located in what I consider one of the city's best parks, Crescent Lake Park, a 56-acre city park featuring the natural Crescent Lake, home to an incredible amount of wildlife. And of course, one of the city's most recognizable landmarks resides in Crescent Lake neighborhood, the Water Tower. Standing above the treetops at 110 feet tall, the tower features local artist Tom Stovall's mural and plays host to a pandemonium of green monk parrots. One of the best parts of District 4 are the many unique neighborhoods with their diverse architecture and residents that call this district home. Historical Northeast, Greater Woodlawn, Euclid St. Paul, and Crescent Lake and Crescent Heights are just a few of the great neighborhoods that represent the area. Our numerous parks allow our neighborhoods to enjoy casual waterfront strolls, swimming laps in the pool, play a few games, and a moment to reflect while taking in the nature that surrounds our city. Speaking of nature that surrounds you, tucked away in District 4 is a true tropical oasis, right along 4th Street North. Sunken Gardens is considered St. Pete's oldest living museum and has been around for more than 100 years. Meandering paths guide visitors through a living collection of more than 50,000 tropical plants and flowers. And don't forget about the flock of flamingos. There's really no shortage of energy, nature, neighborhoods, and great local businesses to enjoy while you spend a little time in District 4.
My name is Catherine Washington, and I'm the first Black female firefighter for the city of St. Petersburg, Florida, and I'm very proud to be that and hold that title. A trailblazer is a person, and they go out and they do something that is mostly done by one gender. And they pierce that and they make something out of it that redistributed what people think of each other. I always wanted to kind of do what I call dangerous work. Something that somebody else didn't want to do, you know. So when my sister said, hey, they hired us, I said, I want to go for the fire department. And I went. In this world, for me to be a firefighter, it was the most unique thing that I could ever think to be. Me being in the Army Reserve gave me a step up to think I could do way more things. I could lift the weights, I could come out of the building out of a window just like the man did, and that gave me the chance to do it. We used to have the Martin Luther King